Welcome to CK4RC.
Hey, you gotta go to the bathroom? Then why you keep honking on that horn then? Oh, just because it's fun? Yeah, I get that. I get that. Hey, welcome back to CK4RC. We're back. Ignore that. We're back. I got this on the bench. What is this? Well, you can see this label right here. It says FMS. So you can assume I'm going to be unboxing an FMS model today. If that's what you thought, bingo, you nailed it. And let's get into it. So this is an intense box packaging because what's in here is also intense. Does this make you uncomfortable? Just making it weird. We're a minute and a half in, making it weird. It's what I do. Back to the box. So, I don't know if you can see this or not, that little red dot right there, that means it's the model has a red body. Some might call it a maroon or perhaps a burgundy. I might know a few middle-aged women that might call it wine-colored. I call it red. That's why I went with the red Only RC's shirt. Look at it. It's great. Classic. Just simple. Only RC's logo. OnlyRCs.com. Get all your t-shirts, banners, cups. Get all the gear. They still have all the good stuff. Use my discount code. Get 20% off. I'm going to drop it down 2 times down in the comments. So you got the likes and you got the subscribes with the ding dongs and the bells and the comments. Comments are down 3 times. 2 times in the description. That's where all that information's at. Here we go. So I'm going to pop the lid off of here. Woo! This package is for real. Golly. But when you're talking about what we're talking about today, I appreciate that. FMS, nice job. I like that. I like seeing that. All right, we're going to start off. If you're not sure what's in here yet, we're going to wait a minute. I'm going to start off with the transmitter. It's one of these deals. Talked about this with the Associated. The Element has this. I just still don't like it, but it does have the foam wheel. I like that. Steering trim, throttle trim, of course, on off, reverse, channel 3, fairly standard transmitter, nothing too fancy, but overall, pretty good feel. I like that. Not going to complain. Relatively basic, but it's going to get the job done. And yeah, guess what? You can assume it's 2.4 gig. It's always 2.4 gig. Whatever. It didn't have this on this box. Now, I did pick this model up used, so there's probably an outer box that goes around this, and it probably talks about 2.4 gig. Cool. Everything's 2.4 gig. Who cares? It's 2.4 gig. We know. Sorry. Back to the regularly scheduled information. I'm going to pull this bad boy out of here, and you're going to see what we're looking at. When you get into a box like this, you just have to assume that there's something special inside. And there is. Look at that. It's got, wait a second, does that have 3 wheels on one side? Yes, it does. And guess what? There's 3 wheels on the other side, too, because it's a 6x6. Talking about an Atlas 6x6 right here. That's what we're working with today. Got a battery flopping around in there, so that's cool. Whatever, man. So that's what we're working with. We got an Atlas 6x6. This is just cool, man. And it's been out for a while. They have a newer version. I think it's like a Conqueror 6x6, which it's the same model. It just has a different body, which is kind of nice because there's so many freaking power wagons out right now. And this is just a power wagon front end, essentially. So let's get into the truck itself. First things first, squishy tires. I don't think there's foams in these. There's no way there's foam in here. I mean, no way. But also, look at that tread. So it's some pretty deep tread. The lugs are pretty deep, but not a lot of space in there. So I wonder how well they'll be able to hook up on like rocky surfaces and stuff. I have a feeling not great. They're RTR tires. I will note though that these are beadlock wheels, or at least they appear to be. And yeah, I think they are. So that is pretty cool. It's a nice touch. I always like to see bead locks coming. Just makes it a little bit easier to give yourself some options. So I like that. And it does have the spare on here on the back. That is a functional spare, by the way, just in case you get a blowout. Because you got 6 tires, chances are you're going to run over a nail at some point. Get a blowout. Nobody wants that. That's dangerous. So it comes with the spare. I'm going to take this thing off, is what I'm going to do with it. Actually, I'm going to take this whole cage off the back. That's my plan. Because when I got this, I wanted the 6x6. It's great. It's a really cool model. And this is what I want. But I need to change it up. I'm so tired of just the same generic power wagon designs and the half cabs and everything else. So yeah, I am going to keep the power wagon front half. I'm going to get rid of this, and I already got me a flatbed. Look at that. That's pretty cool, huh? Picked that up off a seller on eBay prints these up. So that's pretty cool. So that's going to go on the back and get rid of that cage, and I'll have me a flatbed. Look kind of like that. So that'll be neat. Yep. All right. So anyway, it does have a functional toolbox back here. If I can get my fingers in here and pry it open. Yep, there's a toolbox right there. It kind of opens. This stuff that's behind it, it's for holding accessories. If I hold the truck the proper way, you can see that stuff. It gets in the way of opening the box lid. But kind of a neat little thing. Functional little toolbox there. Cool. All right, this battery's flopping around, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. We're looking at a 7.4 volt, 380 milliamp, 2S LiPo. Nothing special. It is what it is. It's a 5C. That seems... Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into this thing a little bit. So I already pointed out the beadlock wheels, the stock tires. I do see some wires in here, so it looks like these headlights are functional. And I also see some wiring running all the way back down here. So it appears to have working tail lights as well under these little grills. So that's cool. Nice little touch there. I like that. Now I want to show the suspension on this thing because, I mean, obviously, you know, you got the front axle and it's a straight axle. It's not a portal, which actually kind of surprises me. FMS does a lot of portals, so wasn't totally sure what to expect with that, but straight axle, fine, fine. Friction damper, friction dampered shocks, nothing special there, of course. But then you get back here, check this out. You get some independent suspension with the 2 rear axles. So you can assume, if you're not already familiar with this model, you can assume that as you're crawling, you're going to get some really cool looking articulation back here with these wheels kind of doing their own thing. That'll be pretty neat. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. The other thing I really want to show you though is the drive shafts on this thing. So the front one, you know, you've got like kind of standard plastic telescoping drive shaft there. And then you've got the long one here. This one's super telescoping, and it's telescoped out. You know what I mean? Whatever. But here is a really interesting thing. This drivetrain right here, can you see there's like a screw in there that keeps that in place, and it keeps that drive shaft, I keep saying drivetrain, drive shaft, from sliding all the way out. So it's got like that little kind of lock screw in there. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But true 4-link right here, true 4-link right here. And this is interesting because you've got 1, 2, and you've got one up here. Now there's not one here, but you have one running from here all the way over here. So if you can see, you've got the steering links, and then there is a third link in here. I don't know if I can get a good angle right there. You see it? Right between here. There's a third link connecting this side of the axle to this side of the frame. That is strange. If you know what that's about, leave me a comment. Drop it down below in the comments, because I don't know if I've ever noticed that on a truck before. So if you're familiar with that, if you understand, if you know why it's designed that way, I would love to learn. And you would be helping out the other viewers that aren't familiar. So if you know, share your knowledge with us. Now here is how you get under the hood on these things, because the hood doesn't do anything. Pull the whole cab up. Magnetized. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's a pretty strong magnet. I mean, I can hold it by the body, give it a good shake. I mean, that's solid. Now the bad thing here is the body hinge, the front hinge, it gets hung up on the bumper. So that's as far as it'll go. That's annoying. So I can either kind of unscrew the body mount, or I can take off the front bumper. Good chance I'm going to take that front bumper off. Anyway, so there's that. You get down in here, you've got a battery tray. It's where that tiny little 5C 380 milliamp 2S LiPo goes. I don't know what that's about, whatever. So you got a little CAN motor in here. It's brushed, of course, nothing special, nothing fancy. It is a waterproof ESC, and it does have a waterproof FMS servo on here as well. So I believe you can drive this completely submerged. I could be wrong on that. If I am, drop me a comment. Let me know. Hey, dummy, you're wrong. I'm used to that. But I think I'm right on this one. I think you can drive this completely underwater. I don't recommend it. I am just not a big fan of going underwater. There's a lot of cleanup involved afterwards, and I don't want to do all that. I just want to keep running and keep driving, and then when I'm done, I'm going to put it away, and the next time I just want to run it again. I don't want to have to tear it down and do all the deep cleaning and stuff. So that's just me. But hey, if you like to get crazy, go crazy. This thing's waterproof-ish. So just make sure that you do the deep clean, because you don't want your bushings and bearings, and you don't want all that stuff drying out and rotten, and then you just have problems. So if you're going to go crazy, then go crazy on the cleaning too. That's what I'm getting at. So here is the Atlas 6x6. What a cool rig, man. Now, the weight bias, a little heavier in the front. Which honestly, for a truck this long, I really didn't know what to expect with that. But yeah, it is heavier. Is it heavier up front? No, it is a little bit heavier in the rear. Little heavier in the rear, I think. But not much. So Atlas 6x6, if you have any experience with these, what do you think? What kind of hop-ups have you done? I'm pretty sure they're compatible for at least a lot of the parts anyway. For the or with the Hobby Plus CR18, 18P, whatever. I think, like the shocks and stuff like that, I think those cross over onto this. Obviously, the drive shaft, that's specialized back there, and then the links are going to be different as well. So some of that stuff isn't going to be direct replacements. But yeah, what kind of hop ups have you done? I've seen one of these that went brushless, and it was just the speed was out of control, and it just really wasn't a crawler anymore at that point. I've seen some really cool semi conversions with these. I've seen tow truck conversions with these. There are some really neat options that you can do with these things. And it's really just limited kind of by your imagination. I've seen dualies, of course, where you've got, instead of having 4 tires on the back, you have 8 on the back and 2 up front. That's insane. But I also kind of want to do that. I might. We'll see. So that's what I'm unboxing today. The good old FMS Atlas 6x6. You can pick these up very reasonably priced at this point. Now, you can't get them new anymore because they're discontinued, but you can pick up a used one for around $100, somewhere around there. Maybe a little bit cheaper, depending on if you can get a good deal or not. But like I said, the Conqueror 6x6 is just kind of the newer model of this. And new for that one, I think it's like 110 or 120. So still really affordable, especially to have such a cool platform with a 6x6. I am really anxious to get this out with the rest of my 18 scale lineup and see what it can do, because I think having these extra drive wheels, it's really going to keep it from getting hung up. Now, I mean, obviously that belly is going to drag on things because that is so long, but having these extra drive wheels to be able to pull and push, I have high hopes for its capabilities, and we're going to find out. So until then, go to onlyrcs.com, get some great gear, use my discount code and save some money, and keep doing RC things. And I'll see you next time.